What's going on there, guys? We're back with another one. We got to get into this as the California State High School Track and Field Championships has caused a lot of controversy over the last few days. We're going to get right into this story, man, because I don't think it's right. And I think a lot of you will agree with me on this. Now, it says a runner competing in the California State High School Track and Field Championships had her title stripped away from her after she celebrated in a way the governing body deemed disrespectful. Clara Adams, a sophomore at North Salinas High School, was competing in the 400-meter finals for the state title. After finishing second in the preliminary heat, she crossed the line and first to take the gold for her own. Adams celebrated by running over to her father after the race had ended when he produced a fire extinguisher. She grabbed the extinguisher from her father and sprayed her shoes with it as if to say they were on fire. Adams' father, David, told the Herald that the celebration took place away from her competitors and added she wasn't disrespecting anyone. But the California Interscholastic Federation decided that this celebration was unsportsmanlike and stripped Adams of her championship. Not only that, but she was disqualified from the meet as a whole, denying her the chance to race in a 200-meter event later. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going through my head right now, Clara told the Herald. I'm disappointed and I feel robbed. I am in shock. They yelled at me and told me, "We're not letting you on the podium." They took my moment away from me. David told the outlet that they were on the other side of the wall from the track. "We have protested the decision I feel was racially motivated, as Adams is black." This is what Adams' coach said, about the race. Called it very unfortunate, said that Clara ran an incredible 400 and is the fastest 400-meter girl in the state. She was trying to have some fun at the finish line after the 400. It was interpreted as unsportsmanlike. What an incredible season and run. It's unfortunate. She crossed the line with a 52.24 seconds, just 100th slower than her state leading time she achieved just last week. And the reason this was controversial is because this came at the same state championship, right, in California, where a trans woman athlete was allowed to compete in events. Now let's get into Ab Hernandez. Now, Ab Hernandez, who identifies as a trans female, claimed gold in the high jump and triple high jump at the California Interscholastic Federation state finals. A 17-year-old who was flanked by an entourage of officials as she and her mother were escorted into the stadium triggered a fresh wave of outrage from protesters and parents as she stormed to victory under a new rule change. Claimed tied first place in the varsity high jump final, sharing the spot atop the podium with female competitors Lalani L'Oreal. I want to make sure I say her name right. Lalani L'Oreal and Jeline Wetterland. The trio cleared the 5-7 mark to split the gold medal three ways, and Julia Tevin took third place, right? She later wrapped up the night with another first place finish, this time in the triple jump. She again shared the top spot with Kyra Gant Hatcher, who trailed by just over a half meter. And so when you look at Adams being penalized for her celebration, when I read the fine print, it says a celebration deemed disrespectful to her opponents. To me, it sounds like it's some gray area and sounds like she took extra steps to ensure, because I'm going to show y'all right now. She was walking away from her competitors after the race. You can see that they're going one way. She goes a good 20 yards away from them, 20, 30 yards away from them, back in the opposite direction that the race was taking place, in that final stretch to retrieve the fire extinguisher from her father. And so, she wanted to spray her shoes. This isn't something we haven't seen before. We've seen this celebration in track and field before. And, I guess that was her measure to make sure she wasn't showing up the opponent. And they deemed it disrespectful even yet still. But, you have Ab Hernandez, who's biologically a male. And I wouldn't even say dominating the females because, Hernandez shared first place with some people that were born female, right? But to even be there and them have to share that moment, um, I would like to see it done differently. To be honest with you, I think just the advantage that Hernandez has biologically over them is not fair. It's not fair for AB Hernandez to come in and compete against biological females, and especially high jumping and stuff like that is ridiculous, right? So this looking at this being the same championships, you prioritize what you deem as a celebration, showing up the opponent over biology. And for me, I know some people may not like what I'm saying, but I'm just gonna say it the way I feel it and feel it the way I say it. I just can't fathom how this is remotely fair. Um, Clara and them have protested, and my issue with this is Clara. She's building a resume. This is the type of young female who will end up in the Olympics, running the 400 or something like that, down the road. Only a sophomore and is the state record holder in a big state like California. She is the record holder already. So what do we know? We know she'll have a scholarship to USC, UCLA, and every school in between in that state, because she's the cream of the crop. Um, and even if they deemed it, disrespectful, right? You don't take that moment away from that kid at that time, because obviously there's some gray area in what is deemed showing up the opponent. If you lay that out in black and white, if you say no props on the field to disrespect the opponent, cool. Then if you grab a prop, then you are susceptible to whatever comes that way. But if it's just a gray area like, don't show up your opponents, have good sportsmanship, well, then you leave that open for interpretation. And so you got to lay it out better in black and white. But if you got somebody like AB Hernandez out there on the field, the kid should be able to do whatever she wants. At the very least, it was all girls in that competition, and they were competing. You took her opportunity away to win the 200. So now the history books is going to be inaccurate, because by all accounts, this young lady was about to clean up on both of them. And you take that opportunity away from her. She won't be able to do that again in her sophomore year, and she'll never be able to repeat that again. But in people's mind, they already know who really won. So why are you stripping her from that title? You're going to get it to the second place person when we got video that she won? I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of the AB Hernandez thing. And then, this is the hill we die on, sportsmanship, right? And not sportsmanship in a way where she walked up and pulled a girl by the hair or cussed out in her face and said, I told you, nothing like that. No, let me just go over here, spray my shoes off, something that we've seen bigger track stars do. And by the way, let me do it away from everyone where they don't have to see it. I mean, if they see it, they see it from a distance, but I'm not doing it right in the midst of them. And so, yeah, man, I have an issue with this, and I want to bring this to you, to your attention, and I want to know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time.